Greetings, welcome to Facts About Everything. I'm your host, James Egan, and today on Nintendo Week we'll be looking at The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. This is considered to be the greatest video game ever made, according to more game rating sites than any other game in history. Edge, IGN, GameSpot, Metacritic, Yahoo, Guinness, and dozens more all consider this to be the greatest video game ever made. Weirdly, it started off as a failed remake of Zelda 2, which is considered to be the worst Zelda game in the series. The Skulltulas are spiders with skull-like abdomens. They are based on real spiders. Ocarina of Time was intended to be released for a disc-based system called the 64DD. The system was meant to connect to the Nintendo 64. The device was only released in Japan and sold terribly. If you use the Megaton hammer while tectites are nearby, all of them will flip upside down. Even many diehard fans don't know that. Zelda's creator Shigeru Miyamoto wanted Ocarina of Time to have the same structure as Super Mario 64, with Link entering new worlds by walking into paintings. The entering paintings concept was used for the boss Phantom Ganon. The game popularized the concept of Z targeting. This is when the player presses a button to make your character automatically lock onto a target, which forces your character to face them even if they walk around or away from it. The Z targeting automatically disables itself if your character moves too far away from the target. The programmers got this idea watching movies and noticed how anytime a hero fought a large group of villains, they always fought the hero one at a time. Only after one villain was slain would another step in to attack the character. This is how villains attack Link in the game, because once he Z targets a baddie, they automatically know where he is and will begin to attack him. Once they die, the nearest villain will start attacking your character. When the developers were programming Z targeting, they use an R-Wing from Star Fox 64. The R-Wing is hidden within the game's code and can be accessed with a cheat. The game became well known for Link's automatic jump. Originally, Link could jump normally, and this feature was removed late in the game's production. The game started with a 3-member team. Eventually, every person in the company was involved in some way. If you look into the window where Link first meets Zelda, you will see paintings of Luigi and Bowser. Playing the Sun song near a Lurker will paralyze it. Really? I wish I knew that. That would be so handy. Although the game emphasizes that the light arrows are the only things that can defeat Ganondorf, the ice arrows are the most powerful. If you use your slingshot on the window where you meet Zelda, a guard will throw a bomb at you. If you use the sinking lure in the fishing pond, you can catch the incredibly rare Hyrule Loach. The fishing pond was created by one of the developers in secret. It was never intended to appear in the final game. Many fans think it's the best part of the game. I don't. I hate it. Stupid. If Link uses the fishing rod on the pond owner, you can steal his hat, revealing that he is bald. If you hit a gossip stone with your sword, it will tell you the time. If you hit it with your hammer, it will flatten. If you hit it with Din's fire, it will stretch out. If you blow it up with a bomb, it will fly into the sky. If you play Epona's song to a cow, it'll fill your bottle with milk. If you wiggle the control stick around while using the Ocarina of Time, it will distort the music. The world record for winning the game is only 17 minutes and 45 seconds. It takes most people 15 to 20 hours to complete the game. This was the biggest game that Nintendo ever created at the time. It filled up the entire cartridge and was 4 times the size of Super Mario 64 in terms of data. It was twice the size of Banjo-Kazooie, which used to be Nintendo's biggest game. An ominous Islamic chant can be heard in the Fire Temple. This was removed upon the game's re-release as Nintendo wanted to minimize offending anyone's religion. Another change that was made in the game was the crescent moon symbol found on shields and blocks. The symbol looks similar to the Muslim insignia and was changed for the re-release of the game. The Forest Temple was supposed to be the Wind Temple. This is why you receive a medallion with a fan on it when you beat the temple. Also, in Ganon's Tower, the forest section has wind puzzles, showing that the temple was supposed to be wind-oriented, not forest-oriented. The Water Temple was supposed to be the Ice Temple. Not only do you have to travel to the Ice Cavern just before the Water Temple, but the medallion you receive after you complete this temple has a snowflake on the front. As before in Ganon's Tower, there's ice puzzles in the water section. The Temple of Time was originally meant to be in the Light Temple, but it was never completed. Malon has a Bowser brooch. The Poe's cackle is Ganondorf's laugh sped up. Epona debuted in the game and has appeared in several other Zelda games since. She was supposed to appear in Super Mario 64. Link is featured in the game as a child and as an adult. This idea only came up in mid-development. Originally, the game was only supposed to feature Link as an adult. Link was supposed to call his horse using a whistle or a pipe. The Song of Storms is a remastered version of a song used in the Super Nintendo game Yoshi's Island. Epona means Great Mare. Epona is named after the Celtic goddess of fertility. She was the protector of donkeys, mules, and horses. When you meet Dark Link, he will have the same health as you do at that point in the game. Dark Link is the hardest boss in the game by far. His difficulty was toned down for the European version of the game. I always heard people complain how difficult he was, but I never had a problem with him. Then I played the American version, and I was like, what? He can jump on your sword? That's ridiculous. Also, I figured this out myself. The easiest way to beat Dark Link is just use Din's Fire. He can't block it. Just keep using it and he's dead. Make sure you got enough magic though. The game was nearly a first-person shooter like GoldenEye 007 or Metroid Prime. A YouTuber called Runner Guy defeated the entire game blindfolded. Originally, the final battle would have Link climb Ganon's colossal body to stab him in the head. However, this proved too difficult to program and the battle was made simpler. This scaling the body concept was used for the game Shadow of the Colossus. The Poe sisters in the Forest Temple are called Meg, Beth, Amy, and Joel. They are named after the four main characters in the novel Little Women. The tagline for the game was, "Dost thou get the girl, or play like one?" Nintendo got into so much trouble. Ocarina sales skyrocketed in Japan after the release of this game. When Ocarina of Time was remade for the 3DS in 2011, Nintendo did not fix any of the game's bugs because they didn't want to taint its memory. George Lucas should really take notes. The developers wanted the Ocarina of Time to play automatically. Shigeru Miyamoto rejected the idea and demanded that the Ocarina had to be played manually to make the player feel like they were controlling time itself. Malon's design is based on country singers that Miyamoto likes. In certain versions of the game, if you meet Zelda wearing the Keaton mask, she will say, "What a cute little mouse." This is a reference to Pikachu from the Pokemon series. In the German version of the game, Twin Rova is called Killer Grannies. In the German version, the four prisoners in Gerudo Valley are called Paul, John, George, and Ringo. They are named after the Beatles. The actor who voices Mario wanted to provide the voice for Link. Nintendo had to make changes to the Skull Kid upon the re-release of the game. Skull Kid originally had a black face and big lips, which made him look like a racially offensive blackface. In the sequel Majora's Mask, the lips were removed and Skull Kid had a beak instead. Navi is the first sidekick that Link ever had. She became so iconic that Link has had sidekicks in most games since. Navi's name is a reference to the fact that she's Link's navigator. Navi is the first Zelda character to speak. She says, "Hello, hey, listen, and what's up?" A more difficult version of the game was released called The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time Master Quest. The game structure is the same, except the dungeons are much tougher. If you try to solve the dungeons puzzles the same way as the original game, you will activate a trap and you will lose health. Sheik is eventually revealed to be Zelda. Since Sheik looks like a man, many players assume Zelda used magic to look masculine. According to Nintendo, Zelda simply dressed like a male and didn't use magic to alter her appearance. Then how does Sheik have red eyes? Do they have contact lenses in the Zelda universe? The game originally had red blood, which was quite apparent when you fought Ganondorf and Ganon. This was changed to green blood for the Western release of the game. The most infamous time paradox in the game is when Guru Guru teaches adult Link the Song of Storms. Guru Guru tells Link that he learned the song from a young boy 7 years ago. You then have to go back in time and play the song to Guru Guru in order for him to learn it so he can teach it to you as an adult, so you can go back in time and... Time traveling is really confusing. If you kill a lurker, any nearby lurkers will approach their fallen comrade and sit beside them and mourn his passing. The 3DS version also has a Master Quest mode. This mode is made even harder since all the baddies cause twice as much damage. The game's structure is reversed to further confuse the player. Kaepora Gaebora is the name of the owl that helps you. He is also the spirit of the light sage Rauru. Rauru built the Temple of Time. A glitch in the game allows Link to turn almost any item into an extra bottle. And finally, shortly after Ocarina of Time was released, pictures from the game showed Link holding the Triforce. Although these were revealed to be fake, it drove gamers crazy since they truly believed that the Triforce was an obtainable item in the game. Special thanks to these fine young people for all their help. Be sure to subscribe to Facts About Everything. Follow me on Twitter for updates on upcoming videos. Check out my Facebook page to let me know what subjects you want me to talk about in the future. Thanks for watching and I'll see you again.